Hey guys, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to another episode of Jinsei Matters with Roy, your favorite YouTube channel where you get to learn, relearn, and unlearn from different aspects of life. Yeah, today is another beautiful day to learn and relearn and unlearn. So, guys, if you can see me clearly well and you can hear me audibly well, please don't hesitate to share this video out to your friends, your family members, your colleagues. Let them know that yes, we are live. And guys, I am not the only one here in the building today. Yes, I have this special guest with me, guys. Join me in welcoming Dr. and Dr. Mrs. Bolaji. Thank you very much, sir, and Ma, for the privilege to have you with us again on the platform today. For the sake of people who do not know you and who will be getting to know you for the first time today, please kindly introduce yourself and tell us any other thing that you'd like us to know about you. Over to you, sir and Ma.
Okay, out of respect for my wife, I will do the introduction.
No.
So she's pushing back the respect.
Yeah.
Okay, my name is
No,
Fola.
she's respecting you.
Yeah.
My name is Fola, and she's Bumi. She's my wife. We are both based in Boston, Massachusetts, and we are both growing in the computer field and practicing in the computer field. And we have been always happy to be here, and we hope that this session will be a great one. We thank our host. God bless you. Amen.
Amen. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, Ma. Guys, today's discussion is going to be an interesting one. Even me personally, I'm seriously looking forward to the gist and I'm here to learn anything that is learnable. And I'm ready to as well relearn and unlearn. Okay, so for the people that will have seen the flyers, as you can see today, the topic before us is about respect among spouses. Guys, what do we mean by respecting your spouse? Is it the respect in terms of calling each other names, or the respect of, oh, he's not helping me? Respect comes in different ways. Like some weeks ago, I was actually having a conversation with some couples around house very close to us here, and I was surprised at the way these couples are related, the way they were relating with each other. And I decided to just interview some of them. I was shocked at what I heard. I was like, eh? Like, seriously? Eh? Wow. Until you get out of your comfort zone. Like, if you don't like learn what is happening, interview other people, you would think that, oh, maybe what operates within your own environment is the only thing. But when you interact with others, when you actually participate in conversations like these, you get enlightened and you just go, wow, 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 I see, I think. Yeah, okay, so back to the discussion, guys. Don't forget to share this video out to your friends and any other person that can benefit greatly from this discussion. So, Sainuma, let's talk about it. What do you mean by respect among spouses? Like, some people have been wondering, how can I even respect my spouse? What are the things I've been doing that I don't even know? That is showing like a form of disrespect to my husband or to my wife. So let's start with, what do we mean? Let's consider what respect means between couples.
Okay, respect. What's the meaning of respect? So I would like to come from the angle of what respect does not really mean in relationship, and then allow my wife to talk about what respect actually means. Respect, what it doesn't mean. Number one, it does not mean fear. Some spouses expect their, maybe let's say some men expect their wife to be afraid of them, to fear them. When I say something, she must shake, and she must know that man is around. The man of the house, the head of the home is here. So, and if I say something, my wife must not speak back. She cannot express herself. Whatever I say should be binding on all situation and on everyone and things like that. So respect does not mean fear. If you are creating an atmosphere of fear, and you think that yes, I call the shot, they respect me, that is not a true respect. That's not respect. And another thing is respect cannot be bought. You don't pay for respect. You earn respect. People observe you, your spouse observe you, your kids they observe you, and they felt this man deserves to be respected. So it's not something that you use some formula to command, but it's something that can be earned based on behavioral. If we do some behavioral analysis, we'll be able to say, oh, this person is respected because of the way he acts, because of his lifestyle, because of his pattern of relationship and things like that. So respect.
Yeah, she mentioned calling one another names or something.
Yeah. Should we
Is
go to
that
the
respect?
should we go
Is
to
that
the
respect?
basics of application now
No,
and
you're
begin
talking
to
about what respect is not. So I want you to touch on that too, like calling one another names or
so
daddy or something.
so if I'm going to talk about respect, especially in relationship, I will come from the angle of the scriptures that recommend that in honor, prefer you one another. Whether you're my wife or you're not my wife, I should still respect you, regardless of your age, regardless of where you're coming from. I need to respect you. And calling somebody by one name or the other does not mean respect. It's an act of respect, but it doesn't totally. If I say, that our daddy, please go and sweep the floor. Our daddy, please. Our daddy, please. If I don't even use please, I can say, our daddy, put on the lights. Our daddy, open the window. I'm using the word daddy, right? I'm commanding him. Not That's not respect. So yeah, so it's not just about name. The name matters, which shows that okay, I regard you. A name may say is more like I'm regarding you. I'm saying that I honor the fact that you are in this position, saying I recognize your position. More like saying pastor, reverend, daddy, father,
So
that kind of thing. You are recognizing the position they are holding, but that does not mean that you are respecting them. If I'm saying that, pastor, ah, that behavior is stupid. No, no, no. You acted so foolishly. I'm embarrassed. I'm disgraced. I've called him pastor, right? Which as referencing like a reverend, I should refer him. But the issue is respect is not just about name calling. Respect can be an attitude that is showing that you honor that person, you recognize their position, but that is not automatically corresponding to respect. Respect comes from what is your attitude towards this person? How do you express yourself to them? How do you call their attention? How do you relate with them? So that is the place of respect. So
Yeah, thank you for defining what respect is not and what it is. Yeah, I think he has answered the question.
yeah, so what's your
Yeah, we
okay.
can
contribution?
move on.
So I think maybe we should look into some practical ways by which couple
Okay.
express respect. Like practical ways means by which couples can actually express respect for each other. Maybe from the husband or from the wife, like the basic ways of of expressing respect. Maybe it's in the side of okay, it's in the way of recognizing, like giving preference to what your spouse is saying, or carrying your spouse along in your decisions, things like that. So because some people actually do not see it as something they should do. A husband in the house wants to make decision and it's like, oh, after I'm the man in the house, any decision I make is final, should be final, I'm the head of this house. So but for the wife is seeing it like, oh, at least We are partners in progress. You should carry me along before making this decision. But the man is not seeing it as a means of respecting his wife. He just goes ahead. So this is what I want us to consider now: ways by which couples, spouses can show respect for each other. Just to open people's eyes, like things that we don't even really pay close attention to, and it's like causing conflict in the home. You know, this issue of, oh, he's not always carrying me along, he doesn't respect my opinions, then it's like as if I am nothing, like as if uh I don't really count, because you carrying your spouse along, even in the home, is a way of respecting your spouse. So this is what I want us to look into: ways, practical ways by which we can show respect for our spouses.
Yeah, that's good. So let's go back to where we started from name calling. So name calling is not respect, it is recognition. In honor, prefer you one another. The honor should start from that. How do you address a wife? How do you address a husband? Yeah, some people usually is based on mutual agreement. And some men they don't care about having a mutual agreement with their wife at all. So some like, okay, call me honey, call me darling. Oh, and I've seen situation where some people will say, our mom, mommy, or some people, wife will call their husband daddy. And if you are to go into the biblical references, we'll be talking about Sarah, how she respected her husband by calling her Lord,
Lord.
with a lot of reference, which was made as an example for women of faith, women in Christ. So there are different dimensions, there are different situations, but we are getting into generations where even young kids call you by first name, depending on the environment.
Yes.
And they don't see that as disrespect. But now, if you're not talking about marriage, you think, okay, how do you want to represent me before people? That is what determines how I address my wife. If I'm seeing my wife like, okay, we are one. If my wife is messed up, I'm messed up. If my wife is disgraced, I'm disgraced. If my wife is brought low, then I'm brought low. So, okay, how do I want people to see my wife? Do I begin to say, you, come here, you, like that? Yeah, it's easy to express this in my local language, like Iwambe, Wambi, that kind of thing. But it's the same thing like you, come here. So, do I want people to see her as somebody that is not significant? Because she's my FO, she's my significant order. So if I need to show and present her in a way that shows people that I place her in a special place, so that when my friends are making comments about her, they cannot be using derogatory
Words.
appellations about her. They cannot be using disrespectful tenses in describing her, because that's the way I've presented her. And even to my family, I will not say my family should come and be worshiping her or kneeling down before her, or no. But she's my significant other. And I need to let my family know, my family, my friend, my associate, that I respect my wife. Not as if I'm afraid of her, not as if I'm worshiping her, but I put her in a special place. So now, if you're not talking about decision making in the home, it's the same thing. We are making a home together. A tree does not make a forest, and it takes two to tango. If I say I want to make my home, I'm deceiving myself. And there's a saying that goes does that behind every successful man, there is a
There's a
woman.
woman.
And also behind every successful woman, there is a man.
Yes.
So it takes two to tango. So you cannot say you are the decision maker and whatever you decide on to stand. Then you are playing the boss in the home. And that home will eventually have fracture at some point. There are some times that you may call the shots because you are the leader, but that does not mean that you will not welcome the idea of the other members of the family. because it's not just about spouse, it's also about children. Every decision that you make about family will affect everybody. And that is the reason why we need to welcome each other's idea. Because you and your wife are like the age range or not too far from one another in terms of generation, then it's very important to welcome your spouse's idea. Even if she is not as schooled as you are, or if he is not having the degree that you do have as a wife, you need to welcome the idea and make decision. Ability to submit one another to other people's view is important, and that is what I will call respect in the home.
I think that I will add to that that I think one of the things you have emphasized is the way we address one another is very important. The way you are like the way you address your spouse in the Yoruba language, they have an adage that it is the way you call your calabash or
The other,
container that others will call it. It is the way you address your spouse that will determine how others are going to address your spouse. So it's not just about calling special name, but even if you're calling one another first name, how do you address yourself? Like it's important. And I think you also emphasize the fact that decisions should be shared with one another. That is part of what makes it's part of respect to share. You want to say something?
no, I just remember something
Okay.
based on what you are saying, that the way you call your calabash is the same way. I have a nickname for calling my wife the way I call her, and it's a common name. But I was surprised that my mom does call her the same name. And I remember one of my brothers, when he got married, he was elderly, and he and his wife was calling themselves by the name "my dear, my dear," and almost automatically we started calling his wife "my dear, my dear." So I was just remembering that, and it's so funny. So many people, even around me, people that are my uncles, aunties, are even addressing my wife the same way I'm addressing her, and I did not require them to do that, but they just feel okay and feel good to address her the same way I'm addressing her.
That's it.
Yeah, so it's important, but it's also important that we show respect in how we communicate with one another. That's baseline. Then we should also show respect for one another in disagreeing to agree. Like we should not disrespect one another in our disagreements. Like we don't always need to have a similar perspective or opinion about an issue, but we should respect one another by not like there are some words that are common, like I'm disappointed, I'm this and that. Like respect your spouse's thoughts. That's the way they see it. It's different from the way you see it. It doesn't mean one person is right over another. You have just seen maybe the same thing in different ways or have different experiences that have shaped the way you see things. And sometimes, even in our own relationship, when some things have happened and we've seen things differently, later you realize, oh, this person was actually right. Like, because now it doesn't mean that you were wrong, you just did not see what they saw, but now you are seeing in a different way. So we should be able to have respect for one another. Then I also want to say that part of respect, like I grew up learning that you should respect your husband, which was a common message. Like ladies are taught to respect their husbands, but men are not really taught to respect their wives. It's usually portrayed as if women don't need respect, they just need you to love on them. And there are even like popular titles of books that I love so much and I respect so much, titled Love and Respect. Like the husband's greatest need is respect, the wife's greatest need is love.
It's love.
But the truth of yeah, but knowledge has broadened up, right? Like we also have five love languages, and part of the love languages is respect. So for some women, even when they like you should love on them, respect is what the term as love. The show of respect to them is what communicates love. And I've seen some other women also express it like, yes, you should respect me. Like, what's the use of telling me I love you and you talk to me like trash? Like, that's not what makes me feel loved. Like, you should treat me with respect. So I grew up learning a lot about respecting men, but men are not usually like trained to respect women. So women also need to be respected. Like respect, showing respect to one another is part of love. And when Brofola was talking and explaining something, there was a way that by the time he was explaining, we are intertwining respect, submission, deferring, referencing, because all of those things are like they have different names, but the features like merge into one another, right? You
Yeah.
can't separate them from one another. Like when you are respecting someone, you're submitting to them somehow. So all of those things are related to the other. But something that it's like I grew up learning, but that I don't do, and I respect the women of God for. Sometimes I like it the way like they greet their spouses, like, and I think now, especially people who attend like Nigerian Pentecostal churches, or not even just Pentecostal churches alone, even if the pastor is the last born of your mother, that you cannot even call you by name. The mothers will see them, Baba wa, like Daddy wa, like the way they refer them and stuff like that. And sometimes when I see such, I think the man will feel cool about it, like they are the alpha and stuff. And I think it's good. I don't do it. Like sometimes I picture it in my head, like waking up in the morning,
Kneeling
like not.
down.
But I think maybe once a while that's also a good thing to do to one another. I think it makes somebody feel like they are better than they are, kind of like they are anyway. But I think it's good to show respect or communicate respect in what your culture appreciates. And for me, another thing that is important is also showing respect in the way we treat what belongs to one another. Maybe your spouse's food, like those are cultural to me anyway. But I don't think that you should, like, when we have guests, we know how we serve them. You should also, like, it may not be an everyday thing, but communicate that respect in how you treat their things and what belongs to them. Or kids should know that that is daddy's something, that is mommy's something. I think it's also important in the home, but every culture is different anyway in how you communicate respect, and we should not overlook that because that is what we grew up with, and it whether we like it or not, it communicates respect to our partners.
Wow. Thank you very much, Sir and Ma, for these amazing contributions. Yeah, when Sister Bumi was talking, there is no way you talk about respect, you not mention love, referencing one another. And like the Bible says that do unto others as you want others to do unto you. So if as the husband or the wife, you want to feel loved, then be ready to love your spouse. Not like, oh, he doesn't love me, she doesn't love me. What effort are you, at least if you express something, you express love to your wife or you express love to your husband and you keep doing it, then you get it back because you cannot even buy it. And I think, like Sister Bumi also shared, that once you give something, like you are showing, it becomes easier. All men want the respect, then you must be also ready to love your wife because it is reciprocal. The woman you are loving, the woman whose emotion you respect, the woman that you don't just, like Brofola shared, the way you present your partner before your friends, before your family members matters a lot. Is a form of showing respect. So now when you are showing the love, automatically the respect comes. The woman is saying, oh, my husband loves me, then this man that really really loves me, I need to respect him. So it's something that goes, it's, you cannot leave one without the other. You cannot expect respect from your spouse and not love the person. And I think another way in which we can show respect is respect, like considering our differences. We are two different entities. Possibly the man is coming, we are coming from different backgrounds, and possibly the man is a tech person or is good at this particular aspect. The woman is not so good as the man, or it might even be in diverse, it can be in opposite ways. The woman might be better than the wife. But if mere fact that marriage has brought us together, then The place of respect is not using these differences against each other. Like, oh, she cannot do this, he cannot do this, and now using that against your partner. I think maybe we should consider this aspect. How can how can we have mutual respect considering our differences such that it doesn't tear apart our relationships?
Yeah. So, just like you said at the beginning of this session today, that this is a platform where we learn, we unlearn, and we relearn.
All right.
I will need to come from this angle that things are changing very fast in this generation. And for two people to come together, there is a lot of lessons to be learned. Some lessons, we can make them easy for ourselves by being proactive about learning those lessons. And it can be difficult for us if we wait for circumstances and situations to teach us that we need to learn certain things. Unfortunately, people that are waiting for circumstances to teach them may not even be able to save their marriages. At some point, it became too late, and we are having young people even going through divorce as we are talking here and there in different. So the reality we need to face is because generation is changing. In those days, especially in some cultures, a single person will not leave our parent or his parent home until it's about time for him to get married, except if he's working in another location that his family is not based. In fact, some of us or some people in time past, when their kids want to work in another city, they look for another relative in that city so that their son or their daughter will have somebody is reporting to, or
That
that
is considered
oversee
another father,
another
another
father
mother.
figure, another mother figure in his or her city until he builds his own home. But in this generation, uh, kids and younger fellows are becoming too independent. Somebody is far away, earning his own money, earning her own money, planning her own timing, going to gym. She has times that she wants to go to gym, times that she wants to go out with friends, times that she wants to go to party, times that she wants to cook her own dinner, times that maybe some people don't even want to cook, they just want to be ordering, they just order online to be delivered to them. And then you brought them together in marriage. And this other person is coming from the part that my mom cooks for my dad. And at some point, I started cooking by myself. That helps me to save costs. As a man, I'm cooking. So I'm marrying a lady that, okay, let's arrange how we are going to be cooking for ourselves. And lady is like, yeah, we just have to be ordering food. Oh, no, I'm not into that. I'm not into that. That kind of thing. Respect and love may be difficult in those circumstances. We are talking about two individuals that have become too independent over years, coming together to now become dependent on one another's decision. And that requires a lot of learning and preparation. So, if you are talking about respecting this person's idea, respecting this person's way of life, is a work. It's not something that you just wake up one day and think that it's there naturally. It's a work that you have to either do it proactively, intentionally, before you even get into marriage. And the fruits you begin to reap it in marriage. And if you don't do that, then you should be prepared to learn in the hard way because there'll be some reactions from your spouse that you are not prepared for because you are not showing love to your wife as you need to do. You are not showing respect to your husband as it ought to be. At the end of the day, there are negative results that will be coming from those kind of reactions. So I feel the best way to do it is to begin to learn, to begin to prepare, to begin to check scenarios, to begin to check other people's family, and even as married people, even as couple, we still do that. We still learn from people that are elderly. We still see mistakes that are being made by some dad. We still see mistakes that are being made by some wife. We still see mistakes and we see good things that we have learned. The way this man is addressing his wife, the way the wife is addressing his dad, his husband, and things like that. For example, recently, maybe like a year ago. We visited a family that is more elderly from the same culture where we came from. And we are together at the dining with the woman of the house. The husband went out, and when the husband came in again, and the woman just excused us herself from the discussion. With Papa is here. I need to go and set the table for him. That is touching because they had a mutual respect for one another that they have cultivated over the years.
Yes.
When that setting, we don't know. Maybe that has been the case from the beginning of their wedding or their marriage. We don't know. Maybe it's something that they learned from another couple somewhere and they began to practice and it's working for them. But there are points where we can learn things from one another. And we either learn it proactively and intentionally, or circumstances will teach us that we need to learn it. But let us be open to learning, unlearning, and relearning.
And I want to add to the example you gave that they have two living rooms. Because somebody might think, why did Papa not join the
Join
table
the
when
table
you're
where,
eating?
yeah,
Yeah, so yeah. But like you said, I think that foundationally, don't marry somebody you cannot respect. If you don't respect, if you don't have like any strong respect for them, there's no point going ahead with the marriage because it's going to have ripple effect on every other thing as well. The way you address one another, the way you call one, the way you appreciate one another's decision or consider even their ideas in the decision making. So if you don't respect someone, it's better to stay away from the relationship. But
And I
if
think,
something
okay, sorry to cut in, ma. Yeah, I think love is respect. When you love someone, you're respecting the person, and you easily respect someone you love. Because, like, what I'm trying to cut in from what Sister Bumi just said, that don't go ahead to marry someone you cannot respect. Because, in the first place, what will make you respect the person? If the
yeah,
person doesn't love you, or if you don't love the person, then it's difficult to respect the person.
So I think that we should also recognize the fact that we have different upbringings and cultures. So, for example, if a man grows up in a place where you don't consider the woman's decision, like why will a woman tell me
what to do.
what to do? Or why will a woman? It's not that they don't love this woman; they love this woman as their wife. I don't know how better to explain it. Like, it's not that they don't love the woman, but they don't just value. They don't see a woman as some even like there are men
Someone to
like that.
say,
If their bosses at work, if their boss at work is a woman, they don't really take their words for it because they've just not grown to respect.
a woman.
I don't know how best to
Yeah,
explain it, but it's not that they don't actually love that
love.
person. It's just that they've not seen that as something to do. It's a little, it appears a little complicated, but it's just like it happens to some people that way that they don't just see. I've been with a family before, and the wife made a contribution, and the man was like, "You want to say something?"
When you're done, yeah,
Okay.
I want to
Go
add
And
on.
to.
the wife made a contribution, and the husband was like, "Oh, don't listen to my wife does not know anything." For me, as a young girl, I was a guest in the home, right? So I asked my friend that was in the home, like, "Is it that the auntie did not go to school, or that?" Because I was thinking, like, why will you say somebody does not know
Oh my god.
anything? And
I
the
met the
husband
family.
told me,
I met the family. The husband married the wife because he wanted someone he can control.
Good.
And he
So
said
that's
it. He said it that I intentionally went for this woman because I want someone I can control. And later in the marriage, the wife had to speak out that, oh, I feel like I'm a slave in this marriage.
so that's what I want to chip in the other time when you bring the component of love, that when you love somebody you respect and things like that. And then we need to get back to the word love. What is the love? To be sincere, we define love for ourselves. in this generation, and even men are everybody, all human beings are naturally selfish. You define concepts based on what favors you and what you feel like. So what we are having in relationship today is not genuine love. It's about I like her for me. So
Emotion.
emotion is more of emotion than real love, because the Bible teaches us that love covers multitude of sin. If there are real love, you may not even have people fighting with one another, because automatically their mistakes, their error, love will just overshadow it.
So
So
that's
Come
why
and
love,
sin
yeah,
no more.
it's a love that can only happen by the gift of the
by the
Spirit.
gift of the Spirit, by the
That,
grace of
yeah,
God.
the grace of
Yeah,
God.
because what makes us look at it from this angle, if we have attained that level, what makes us that when our spouses are doing things against us, why are we reacting and reacting? It's because it's not favoring you. When your spouse is doing something that is suiting you, that is favoring you, you don't even feel offended, and love is easily expressed at that level. But when they are doing something that appears negative, that's uncomfortable for you, you react, and your reaction vibrates, and everybody know that you're vibrating. Where is love at
Where is
that
the love?
moment? So,
The love
exactly. So
disappeared.
that may be, yeah, there
Yeah.
may
So
be a reason to begin to reshape our concept of love and grow in love,
yeah.
grow in maturity, grow in that expression. Because automatically, love, the kind of love we are talking about, does not translate to respect when it is not operating at the right level where it has to
Yeah.
be.
And I want to say that I think we have discussed love and like extensively at the time. Maybe we can link that video here as well. But yeah, like it doesn't necessarily mean that couple don't love one another. And I also want to say something to the statements that Rhoda made about somebody saying that I want to marry someone I can control. Now, that control may also be different from the control definition that is popular in this generation, that because yeah, because
Narcissist.
a lot of yeah narcissists, because some people, so I've seen men who grew up under very tough women that show their daddy pepe,
Yeah.
and they say I cannot marry a woman that I cannot control, that cannot submit to me.
Yeah.
Like the control does not necessarily mean they want to, but
They
at
want to
least.
turn them to zombie
And I
or
think it
robots.
is also about the respect. So let's say, for example, I'm arguing with someone and my husband comes in as my spouse. He should be able to say that's okay, and it's okay. Like it shows the respect I have for him. But if he says it's okay, and I'm like, what is okay? We have just started. Then everybody around will even know that this woman does not even respect her husband. And it should be the same, that my husband is in a discussion or something that I'm not comfortable with, and I'm coming in as a significant other to say, that's fine. The respect should make him like, okay, just put in a break at that time to be like, this is a
Not never in your life.
yeah,
When I'm in a heated discussion, never
never
in
in
your
your
life,
life.
never in your
Yeah.
lifetime should you come and interrupt me.
Yeah, so people, different people have had different experiences, and they're looking for that person that will give them what makes them feel human. But like
Exactly.
but for that sake, at the end of the day, it brings it back to I'm marrying my husband for me. I'm considering myself first, which is sort of selfish, and that you are considering yourself first, which is selfish. So there are a lot of mixes and challenges with this thing, but it's very important. I love the Bible scripture you quoted in the beginning. Let's honor, let's respect one
One
another.
another.
Wow. Interesting, amazing contributions. Thank you very much, Sir and Ma. So as we bring this close, like we've said, we've all shared that the way we present things matters a lot. If you love your spouse, the way you react, the way you correct, even the Bible says that we should correct in love, the way you interact, the way you communicate with your spouse, it's either it brings respect or disrespect. Like Brofola and Sister Bumi just shared that if you come and you start correcting, no, 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 why did you do that? You must not, you shouldn't have done that. Never in your life should. Then we are all humans. What do you expect? Like Brofola and Sister Bumi said, if you're not filled with the Spirit, The person is coming with, never in your life, you must not do this. The person too will be like, and then that's how it starts. And for homes, for marriages where the respect is gone, I think you have to be intentional. You have to work. You have to do the work in order for you to bring back the respect. Because even if you're outside, you forget completely that you're outside your home. Your husband is talking and you're saying your own, and people are like, oh, no respect at all. Yes, because the respect is gone with our interaction, with our communications. So now for homes where the respect is gone, the husband does not respect the wife does not respect the husband, the both of them both know, they both know, okay, there is nothing I say that matters. My opinions does not count. And for the differences, because I cannot do this, because I cannot do that, because then the husband will always speak or the wife will always speak on that. And you will always use that to bring down the wife. Or the or the wife is using that to bring down the husband, to bring down the wife. In situations like this, it's very difficult to get the respect because you already know, oh, this is who this person is. And now, as we bring this to a close, I want us to look at various ways by which we can actually bring back respect in our homes among spouses.
Yeah.
Since we've considered the various ways by which people lose respect, by which
Yeah.
couples lose respect for each other, now as we close, let's look briefly into ways by which couples can actually gain their respect back and strengthen the love and the bond between each other.
Yeah, so I would like to say by uh, going back to the same word we have been using, learning, about learning. And the reality that we need to face is that we don't have the power to change another person, but you can change yourself.
Exactly.
And when you change yourself, you may see the results in another person. But don't live your life as if I want to change that person.
Ah,
Live your life that I want to be changed. Probably it will have effect on her. Probably it will have effect on him. And but if you are focusing on the other person, you may never get results and you'll
at
be
all.
disappointed, you will suffer,
Things will even
different
get
things will be
worse.
in you. And I would like to cap it with this that God has been helping me with in recent time that I've learned, and it's more like a question. Sometimes you may be expecting certain things from your spouse and you are not saying it, and you are burning and you are hungry and you are feeling bad, and then the question will just come: how much have you prayed for her about this thing? How much pray have you said something to God about this? And probably in my talking to God about it, maybe idea can come, maybe wisdom can come. Bible says, if it remains wisdom for anybody, let him ask from God, who gives without reproach. So it may be good to begin to see your significant other, your spouse, as your ministry. As, After God, I know the next person in my life is my wife. So begin to say that if my wife fails, then I failed. If she doesn't turn out well, then I've failed, because she's the next project in my life that we consider. This is the person that handles me, even if I'm sleeping, or if something unfortunate happens to me. Is She's the next person that will be closest. So when you begin to have that kind of mentality, you know that you need to take relationship with your spouse very serious, and whatever you need to learn to make it work out, learn them.
So I think you've capped on all the points. The first one is having the attitude of learning. It's very important for life and for everything. Even in our marriages, we need to continue to learn. And we learn from others, we learn from books, we learn from experiences. And they are just things that you consider. And um, yeah, it's very important to have that learning attitude. One experience that came to mind was there was a woman that died in our church some times ago, and we're talking to the husband, and the husband said, she never argued with me for once. And for me, I was like, I didn't take up the husband because it was a different atmosphere, but I thought about it for long, and I still continue to think about it. Like, what is so eventually? But for me, I was using it to critique myself because I'll be like, what do you mean somebody did not argue with you ever? Like, is it that whatever thing you say, they just say yes, Lord, that's fine, or something like that? But the reason why I brought that is part of the shamefacedness. The Bible spoke about the women of old, the virtuous women in the Bible. They try to they try to check on themselves often, like, how good am I, how well am I doing? It's not like, this is me, you married me like that, and so be it. Like, there are things in our experiences, we should always have that posture of learning from the way others do their things. You visit people, such things, like, is there something you can learn and things like that. Being open to learning actually make us see learning opportunities. But if we have that, they call it fixed mindset of I'm okay, we will not be able to see what to learn in others, and we will not do it. And I think you also touched on the point of start with yourself. I always say you will know better, do better. So if you feel that, oh, my spouse does not disrespect me, I think it should be better than this, then you should start with yourself and do better. You show more respect and see how that will rub off on your spouse. Because like Brother said, you cannot change anyone. And everybody operates based on what they know and like what appeals to them. So until it has appealed to that person as a reasonable thing to do, they may not do it. But you will know better, should do better. Start with yourself and see it rub on the other person. And I think in my own experience, and I've heard other people say it, most of the time when I've taken things to God about my spouse, God usually starts with me. That has been my experience. Like, there's something that you are not doing 100% here that is also like encouraging that 30% or 40% you can see in others as well. So it's very important that we cultivate that habit. But like we say, if you cannot respect others, that person will not get into marriage and respect you. So for people who have not like even entered marriage at all, how does he or she treat others? Because you will not be special forever. And if they are treating you with respect, especially now, but the way they address their sister, the way they address their mother, the way they address their friends, you see it, and you are special for now, and you are being treated specially, you will not remain special forever. There's a statement that I heard in my brother-in-law's marriage that I remember forever. It's in Yoruba, and maybe you help me to interpret it in English. He said, "Arifini fini lonji arifin."
Yeah.
Like, disrespect is
The
see
familiarity
finish
brings
familiar, yeah, family,
disrespect.
yeah. So that happens in every relationship. We need to always remind ourselves, but it happens, and until it's showing forth, you won't even know it. So you won't remain special to your spouse forever. Like, there will be that familiarity that makes the person becomes like,
Yeah. I,
so
I even want to add something
yeah.
to that familiarity issue. You see some women that say, welcome, sir. Epele, sir. Hey, to outsiders, but you don't see them saying it to their husband.
Mhm.
Even to a younger fellow, oh, welcome, sir. You are doing well, sir. Yes, sir. But they are not doing that to their husband. And you can see some husband also caring for younger people, younger ladies, but they are not showing that same level of care to their wives. That is hypocritical. That is not right.
It's
Which,
Yeah,
familiarity,
yeah,
but we
I
must be
think we need to
conscious
look at
of it. We
that. I
must be
think we need to
conscious of
consider
it.
that topic.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
see
Yes.
finish in marriage.
yeah.
yeah.
Okay, okay.
Wow.
Uh,
Somebody said, if the respect you should not give to your pastor the respect you
Cannot
cannot
give
give
to
to
your
your
husband.
husband.
Hmm. Hmm. Interesting. Wow. What an amazing discussion we've had today, guys. We've talked a lot on this matter of respect in marriages, respect among spouses. And just to bring this discussion to a close, like bro Fola and sister Bumi already shared, that the best way is to work on ourselves. Work on your own self. Don't think of changing your partner. You can't even succeed at it. Don't think of changing your spouse in any way. Rather, you can just pray for them, like Profela said. See them as your ministry. Okay, guys, it's been an interesting conversation today. So, as we've always done, I will give Profela and Sister Bumi 1 minute and for them to just talk about like a summary, something to take home with for all our viewers out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Respect pays more than disrespect. And I would like to interpret it in there's one Yoruba proverb that says that the fact that you prostrate for dwarf does not mean that you are
When you
now
stand up,
lower.
you'll
When you
be
stand
shorter.
up, you'll be shorter than a dwarf. So it doesn't take anything from you if you respect people. It doesn't reduce you in any way. It earns you more honor when you show respect. Even and charity begins from home. Start from home. Respect your spouse and respect others.
And respect yourself.
And respect yourself. Respect yourself could be insulting. Respect yourself. Respect yourself. Before I disrespect you.
Yeah, they're trying to tell you to
Respect yourself.
behave. Like,
Behave.
behave. I think for me, the take home will be the respect you give is a reflection of your value. So consider it well, like the respect you give unto others is is a
Reflection
reflection
of who
of what
you are
of who
or
you
your
are
value.
or what your values are. So yeah.
Wow. 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 Interesting. Wow. Thank you very much, Dr. and Dr. Mrs. Balaji, for your time again with us on the platform today. And to all our viewers out there, we want to say a very big thank you for joining us on the show today. It's still Ginseng Matters with Roy. Until we'll come your way again, keep watching Ginseng Matters with Roy and enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ginseng Matters. Come back to Ginseng Matters on Ginseng Matters. It's Ginseng Matters. Yeah, it's still Ginseng Matters with Roy. It's still Ginseng Matters with Roy. Right now, it's Ginseng Matters. Come back to Ginseng Matters on Ginseng Matters. It's Ginseng Matters. Yeah, it's still Ginseng Matters with Roy. It's still Ginseng Matters with Roy. Right now, it's Ginseng Matters. Come back to Ginseng Matters on Ginseng Matters. It's Ginseng Matters. Yeah, it's still Ginseng Matters with Roy. It's still Ginseng Matters with Roy.